Everyone, we are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and yesterday, according to Hindu calendar, Hindu communities celebrated the birth of Ram, Shri Ram. But we in Sufi terminology, Sufi circle in Naqshbandi order, celebrate this day as the manifestation of Sufi Brij Mohan Lal. On Ram Navami Day in the year 1898, to the parentage of Sufi Raghuvar Dayal, popularly known as Chacha Ji, and his wife Jai Devi were born. Sufi was born a boy who the world came to know as Sheikh Brij Mohan Lal. There are a few, as we reflect the life and works, I will take into account, starting from his birth. It happened that his father Chachaji Raghuvar Dayal and his wife Jai Devi were advancing in age and they did not have any child. So it was the in-laws of Sufi Raghuvar Dayal that they insisted that the couple visit the holy place in Rameshwaram in South India, where during the time of Ramayana, the Hindu scripture, when Ram incarnated, before entering Sri Lanka, he performed a prayer for Shiva, and the place was Rameshwaram, and it is the belief of Hindus that if someone wants to get his wish fulfilled, he carries the water from holy Ganges and takes it to offer on that Shivling that was established by Shri Ram to conduct the prayer for Shiv. Arrangements were made because it was 1898. Journey was long. Facilities were meager. As the in-laws of Sufi Raghuvar Dayal were at the residence of Lalaji, where the couple was staying, same time Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, the master of Lalaji Raziyallahu Ta'ala appeared. It is important that you choose the words more appropriately, not came. He came, but it was when somebody appears, somebody comes without any prior knowledge, all of a sudden we say that he appeared and he saw all the preparations that was going on. He asked Lalaji. Out of love, he used to call him Bhai Puttulalji. Bhai means brother. Puttulal was the name that he used to address Lalaji by, and it was he only who had given him that name lovingly and used that name. He said, Bhai Puttulalji, what is this all going on? At this, with his folded hands, meekly Lalaji mentioned that Nanne and his wife have no child. So his in-laws are taking them to Rameshwaram, and it is believed that if someone visits Rameshwaram and offers water from holy Ganges at the Shivling in Rameshwaram, his wish is fulfilled. Hearing this, Sufi Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan came into jazb. Jazb means when you are filled with passion, love for your beloved. Who is his beloved? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He had his eyes closed for a few minutes. Then he opened his eyes and asked for some water in a bowl. And he held the bowl in his hands, in his two palms, and cast a glance into the water. And he said, the God that is there in Rameshwaram is here also. जो परमात्मा, जो खुदा वहाँ है, वो यहाँ पर भी है. The God that is there in Rameshwaram is here too. उसकी कुदरत महदूद नहीं है. His powers, His energy, His grace is not limited to any particular place or time. It is infinite, omnipresent, omnipotent. Saying this, he asked for water in a bowl, held the bowl with a wide mouth open, metal bowl of course, and he cast his glance and he asked Lalaji to take this water and offer it to the wife of Chachaji, saying that let this water be consumed by the daughter. Beti ko ye pani pila do. Let her drink this water. What did he do at that time? When you are filled with, you are in a state of intoxication, love for your beloved. You are in it just as what happens when you are sexually aroused. Certain changes takes place in the human body. So too when you are aroused, you are intoxicated in divine love. Certain things takes place within your anatomy and physiology. That is known as jazb. The face becomes incandescent. It glows more, as if more energy has come into it. And there is one thing about the water which is very significant. Water has the tendency to absorb any vibration that is sent to it. There is a Japanese scientist named Tomato. he has done a lot of work on the energy field of water. If you hold the water in a metal cup, metal is a conductor of energy, electricity. Electricity, the energy transmits in the form of electricity. Energy, there is a subtle connection between energy and current. Energy transmits itself, moves in the form of electric current. So, when he cast his glance on the water, said his prayer, he doesn't need to say the prayer, just looking at the water with that intense passion or intoxication for his beloved, there is oneness between the form and formless, between known and unknown, between finite and infinite. And the vibrations that were sent to the water, that has become a medicine. I can send that vibrations, but it is up to you to absorb that. Be ready for that. Chachaji, Lalaji, and Chachaji's wife all were in love with the master. After giving that water, he instructed that this water be given to the daughter and said, wait for the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After some time, there was a fear of miscarriage. Lalaji wrote a letter and sent it through the family attendant named Chittar Kahar. Kahar means servant. Chittar was his name, but out of love and respect, the younger folks used to pay him respect. The message was sent. Chittar Kahar walked from Fatehgarh to Kaimganj, where Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan was staying, and it was at some distance, 3-4 miles, and Mauli Sahab, Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, read the letter, known the content, and he replied. Lalaji wrote, and in the letter he wrote, when God has accepted the prayer of this humble servant, there will be no fear of any kind. Do not fear. By God's grace, I will be blessed with a grandson. By the grace of God, I will be blessed by a grandson, and I name his Brij Mohan Lal. He was named by Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. Inshallah, by grace of God, I will be blessed with a grandson, and I name his Brij Mohan Lal. After some time, when Brij Mohan Lal was a little boy, infant, once playing with him, Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan held him in his arms and addressed to Lalaji, Bhai Puttulalji, the responsibility of the worldly and the spiritual training of this child rests with you. You take care of his physical and his spiritual training. And when God will ask me, what did I bring? as a gift for him from the earthly region, I will present you and this child as my gift to him. What a great compliment. And now there are people who say that Lalaji handed over everything, the reign of the spiritual power, to his master, to him. And here are the words of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. When God will ask me, what did you bring from the earthly region? I will present you and this child as my gift to him. As was the instruction, Lalaji took care of Brij Mohan Lal, his physical education, his spiritual education, and he stayed with him. But the physical condition of Chachaji, the job was not in order. Sometimes he will get work, sometimes he will not. So Sufi Brij Mohan Lal started to give tuitions, and whatever money used to come out of that, he will send with the postman for his parents. That time the postman was the only messenger who is traveling, carrying the mail from one city to another. So he gave him the money and asked him to give it to my parents. He used to take care of that. Lalaji's son, Sufi Jagmohan Narayan, was younger to Brij Mohan Lal. So at times when there are two boys growing up together, there can be a conflict, argument. At this, Lalaji told his son Jagmohan Narayan that Brij Mohan Lal is your elder brother. I will not tolerate any kind of indiscipline, any kind of disrespect for your brother. I am sure he will not leave any stone unturned in your development, in your growth. But I will not tolerate anything. Brij Mohan Lal had a tremendous interest in music and singing. He had a beautiful voice. Chachaji Brij Mohan Lal used to play the Indian bellow instrument harmonium, and Lalaji will sing sometimes he will sing. And Chachaji was well versed in playing the percussion instrument tabla. And when all of them gathered together, there used to be a feast, a musical feast of singing. And when a Sufi sings, a master sings, the energy field is totally different. It is taking you in a state of intoxication. It is meditation, it is tawajjuh. With meditation, at that moment which is happening through the singing, awareness dawns. All obstructions vanish. And a man of awareness not only lives his life gracefully, instead he leaves the infinite world gracefully as well. This grace is not dependent on others. The grace comes because of the inner flowering. And then he leaves the world gracefully, full of gratitude and bliss. He is not afraid of death. About extolling the importance of meditation, Nanak said, Through meditation, one gets connected to religion, understand the true meaning of religion. You can go on reading scriptures, but you cannot get connected to religion. None of your mosques, temples, churches or gurdwara can at all connect you to the religion. It is you who will go to the temple or read scriptures or be at the business place, and you are asleep and unconscious. If you are asking for prayers, you are praying for the benefit, for the welfare, but you are unconscious. As long as you are unconscious, nothing can happen. The moment you are awake, then nothing is to be said. No prayer is to be uttered. You are prayerful, and whatsoever happens becomes a prayer. So if you go, it is you who go to the temple, it is you who are reading the scriptures, it is you who are at the business place, but you are asleep and unconscious. And anyone who is asleep and unconscious, nothing can happen to him. Once it happened, Nanak visited Haridwar, the sacred holy place of Hindus. It was the period of the Hindu month when Hindus offer water to their ancestors. They look towards the sun and hold the water in their hands and offer it to the sun. It is said that when water is offered in that way, it reaches to the ancestors. It is the belief of Hindus. Nanak said, what is this going on? He said that we are offering, it is the Hindu word is used, ark, is being offered to their ancestors. Nanak said, where are your ancestors? He said, we do not know, but we know. It is a tradition that facing the sun, we offer water to in that direction, and it is believed that it reaches the ancestors. Nanak called his disciples and started pulling the water in bucket from the Ganges and facing the direction which is westwardly to the city, village where he belonged to, Kartarpur, and he started throwing the water in that direction. And each time when he will throw the water, he will say, go to my fields. When he had done this, about 10-12 buckets of water through in that direction, the people said, what is this nonsense you are doing? Nanak said, I am letting this water to go to my fields. So they asked, how far are your fields? He said, maybe some 200 miles away from here. He said, how can this water reach to your fields which is 200 miles away? Nanak said, when you're offering the water facing the sun, how far are your ancestors? A bewildered crowd could not answer him because nobody knows. The fact is, the moment somebody dies, there are millions of people who are making love. It is very easy for the soul to enter the new body. It does not take long. And the moment someone assumes the new body, the journey continues. If I can do my work myself, I do not need the assistance from anyone to make a tea or take me to the washroom or do anything for me, because I am capable of doing things myself. A child is not capable of performing his daily responsibilities himself. So it is done by someone else. So the moment one enters into the human body, he is capable of carrying on his responsibility on his own. A master is a unique way. Master is the unique way. So the people said that we do not know. Nanak said, when the water that you are throwing facing the sun can reach to your ancestors, then why will not this water that I am throwing in the westwardly direction will reach my fields? Such was the ways of Master. Master has a unique way. Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, Sheikh, Lalaji, Chachaji, all of them were unique masters. All of them were unique masters. This is the methodology of the masters. And Sufi Brij Mohan Lal continued his spiritual training under the guidance of Lalaji, his father Chachaji. Although Chachaji did not have much time or much to perform in his responsibility, but it was Lalaji and Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan and his uncle, Lalaji's uncle master, Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan. Abdul Ghani Khan was a fellow disciple, Guru Bhai of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. Both were initiated by Haji Ahmad Ali Khan or Khalifa Sahab Razillah Ta'ala Unu. But it happened that the final training of Abdul Ghani Khan was completed by Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. So he was known as Chacha Guru or Uncle Master of Lalaji and Chachaji Razillah Ta'ala Unu. But Sufi Brij Mohan Lal his training was completed by Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan, and it was Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan who bestowed the spiritual authority and the masterhood on Brij Mohan Lal. It was the year 1925 or 28. It was during the month of Christmas. That's the time the spiritual function at the shrine, at the place of Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan used to take place. Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan used to take place. So everyone will gather on that day. So Brij Mohan Lal, along with his father and his uncle Lalaji, went for that function. And he was a little boy. During one of the sessions, Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan appeared on the podium wearing the same cap which was handed over to him by Sheikh Khalifa Ji or Ahmad Ali Khan Raziyallahu Ta'ala Unu, and Brij Mohan and asked for Brij Mohan Lal. Brij Mohan Lal appeared. He had a cap on his head. He took off that cap and instead put the cap that he was wearing onto the head of Brij Mohan Lal. As he did that, Brij Mohan Lal went into a different space. His eyeballs went upward, got fixed, immovable, and he became almost like unconscious. At this, everyone got worried. Seeing this, Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan said, "Do not worry, he will not die." The authority iski ijazat. Ijazat means the authority. Something when give the permission, what is called graduation ceremony. You have been, exam was conducted, and after conducting the exam you passed. Now it is time for graduation. You are given the degree or whatsoever it is. It is authenticating that you have performed well and you have completed the education. So Lalaji, so he said that inshallah ye marega nahi. Iski zaat se ek alam munawwar hoga. Alam means a great congregation. Congregation of spirituals, of the people. The light will manifest far and wide through him. His authority, that what has been bestowed upon him is not my doing. Ye Bahabi hai. Bahabi means that descends from heaven. It is from beyond the known. And saying this, he left him and went inside. In 1929, out of extreme joy, Lalaji handed over the reins of the spiritual tariqat onto Brij Mohan Lal with words filled with grace and emotions. Whatever experiences I have gained, and not only but also from different paths, Nanak Panthi, Kabir Panthi and few other paths, I share with you, I hand over to you along with my own experiences. From now onwards, the tariqat will remain your responsibility. It will, tariqat means the path, the spiritual tariqat of Naqshbandi order will remain your responsibility. Afterwards, Chachaji also handed over the spiritual reign to him, saying that he used to call Brij Mohan Lal as Bade Mian. Bade means elder. Mian is just as we use in English word sir, out of respect. O in Hindi, Mr. or Shri. So that is the Muslim word used, Bade Mian. When all the elders have bestowed their authorities and grace onto you, where does this humble servant count? I also hand over everything to you. Thus, from Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan at the time of his birth, by saying that the spiritual responsibility of this child is on you, Bhai Puttulalji. And God will ask me, what did I bring from the earthly region? I will present you and this child as my gift. Then Maulana Abdul Ghani Khan handed over the spiritual authority onto him. From there, it was Lalaji, Chachaji, all of them handed over the spiritual grace or blessings onto Brij Mohan Lal. The question does not arise from anyone to say that Lalaji gave me. And in his will, that was read after the passing away of Lalaji, for which all the so-called people in the inner circle of Lalaji gathered, hoping that Lalaji will declare him as his spiritual inheritor. When this did not happen, all of them disappeared, never to appear, because as long as Sufi Brij Mohan Lal was alive, Chachaji was alive, no one could dare say anything. Now you can say anything. That does not matter. Such was the life of Sufi Brij Mohan Lal that continued. There are various anecdotes in his life. On 6th of January 1955, he travelled from the city where he had finally settled after his retirement from the government job where he was employed for the maintenance of his family. He travelled to Mumbai at the request of some of the disciples there. On the way, he passed through various cities and gave everyone the indication of his final journey. I will speak on that at some other time. We are celebrating the birth anniversary or the manifestation of Sufi Brij Mohan Lal on Ram Navami, which this year, according to Hindu calendar, the Hindu calendar works according to moon, and the Western calendar works according to the sun, the Gregorian calendar. So there is always a change of dates. So this year, the birth of Ram or Ram Navami fell on 12th of April, and that was the day when his consort Sufi Shakuntala Devi entered into Mahasamadhi on 12th of April 1974. It has a unique importance. On this day, on Ram Navami, and the day when Sufi Shakuntala Devi entered into Mahasamadhi fell on the same day. The birth manifestation and the entering of Samadhi happened at the same day. These sessions will continue until next week. Take care and do have a pleasant day.